Good day everyone. Right, I'm taking us through now the first level of Grimrock, and as you can see there is the character creation screen in front of me. It's been a long time since I played this particular game, and I only ever did a few minutes of it, so I kind of rusty. I did the other day read bits and pieces, but I didn't want to go into too much reading, only because I want to sort of store up any surprises and any excitement I may get from this game, so I don't have to do any spoilers when I read what people have said. And as I said, I was new, so I'm kind of a bit of a noob in this creating these character traits. So I see a few hesitations with my mouse as I'm going around here trying to figure out what's the best and most optimal settings for each particular character. Now this game is a sequel in a sort of way from the old Dungeon Master and Eye of the Beholder games, in that you go through dungeon corridors figuring out how to bypass the traps and defeat the monsters that you will meet along the way. A dungeon crawl I call this, where like in Eye of the Beholder and Dungeon Master, you go through corridors, and this is no different. The only difference you'll find with this particular game is the fact that the graphics are a sort of a quantum leap up and above what you could find in Dungeon Master, and most certainly what you find in Eye of the Beholder as well. But what the games had back in the day was playability. We wanted to go back and play them over and over again, purely simply because they were so enjoyable to actually play through, and it gave great satisfaction when you beat the bad guy in the end, having picked up all the stuff that you needed in the dungeon crawl to be able to beat him. The weapons, the spells, the abilities that the characters pick up and learn, all good stuff. So you can see now the screen is still sort of hesitant in how I'm doing this, and of course I haven't named the characters, so I have to go through this now and name them, and so you can sue me for the lack of imagination in the names of the characters, you know. For want of a better word, why do things, stamp and whap and stamp and all this business. The fact is, a lot of kids like to giggle, but put very rude names with these characters, and I used to do that back in the day, I really admit. So I'm just finally finishing up all the little bits and pieces now to try and get the points sorted out, and once you get that, into the game we go. Of course, I'll be playing this game to the final end, and after that we'll go to other games, you know, role-playing games like Neverwinter Nights and perhaps Baldur's Gate, and see how we go with playing them. Of course, I'm doing this video now with the first level of the dungeon, so I'm just taking you through all the bits and pieces that I found while we were here. I've learned that this screen with the background information as to why you're chucked into this dungeon a little bit boring, so pressing the mouse button quickly gets me through the writing. So if you want to read it, my suggestion is that you press the forward button. We're now into the Legend of Grimrock, the proper game as it were. And so the first part of the dungeon, what I remember and what I read, there's a secret here, and this is the very first thing I did, was go straight to that secret because I knew it was there. I didn't know what was in there, but once I got to the secret room, I actually found then that the thing was a pair of boots and shurikens, which are the old kung fu ninja shurikens with a sort of weird statue. Looks like an Eye of the Beholder, the tentacles coming out of the mouth. This is sort of reminiscent of the Eye of the Beholder itself in the old TSR Dungeons and Dragons games, and mind flayers they're actually called. Sorry, not Eye of the Beholder, mind flayers. My apologies, my memory sometimes plays tricks to me. And now I'm exploring the room to see if there's any more secret spots in here. I do a sort of sideways crab like scuttle, and just check the walls, kind of going around and around. One thing I must point out that I'm not as agile as I was in the keyboard, so every now and again you see a little pause as I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do. Choose a fate, penetrate the cell, or pick up the torch. Well, pick up the torch. Hand it to my hand, or the card in hand, and the door's open. So now we go and explore the rest of the dungeon, and you may find that now and again I'll do an exploration of the walls just to check if there's no secret rooms hidden around. I mean, the buttons are fairly obvious, but sometimes you might find, as I found in certain games, that they're disguised. When you think you know, I found all the secret buttons, you go on and look at them again to find the disguised buttons. Some can be just a plain pale dot on the wall, others can be hidden, like having moss covering them, or maybe one of the chains or hooks on the wall are the actual secret buttons. At least that's in my experience anyway. But then again, I'm talking about games that I played a very long time ago, so maybe memory is playing me tricks. As I said, when I played the Eye of the Beholder, I played it on an old Amiga A1200, and this was going back in the early 90s. I had that and a bundle of games on there. Eye of the Beholder actually bought myself in Virgin's, believe it or not. Virgin Megastore was running operation down in Cardiff, and they had a game section, and they also had a role-playing section as well, which was full of the old second edition Dungeons and Dragons stuff. And every now and again they have a sale, and I used to pop down there to see what bargains I could pick up, and it was surprising over the number of years how much I actually did collect. Unfortunately, there we are. Maybe you see a stone at the trapdoor. Put the stone in the trapdoor. That's an old trick I learned from back in the day. And here's a weird thing as well. Whenever you step on the trapdoor, you'll find that the characters bend down a bit. I just found that out now, and I remember it from the last time I played. Anyhow, let's see. We got a key. So we take that key and put it in a character's hand. Check the old trapdoor thing. Yeah, so Virgin Megastore had a lot of bargains which I picked up, and I had, I don't know exactly how many Dungeons and Dragons models or campaign booklets I picked up, but I also had the old Rollmaster role-playing games as well, and I picked up a fair amount of, checking the map here to see where we're going. I picked up a fair amount of models. Whereas a Virgin were putting them for £1 at the time they had a sale. I had something like maybe 20 of them, you know, the ready to run adventure models, and I played perhaps 3 or 4 of them in the day, and so I collect this other torch now and make sure there's no other trapdoors. Get that stone, you may need it later. So yes, but unfortunately I lost my job due to government cutbacks in a particular industry, which meant, of course, which meant, of course, that I had to find work. So I'm just checking the walls now to see where this news thing is coming from. Yeah, so I checked the walls, and so I had no job. So for a while the money I saved started running out, and of course when you're trying to claim benefits back in the day, it's not as easy after a certain point. Anyway, the financial situation became desperate, and so I sold all the Dungeons and Dragons stuff that I could. Fortunately, I raised enough money to be able to keep myself going for a few months, and until I found a job. And yeah, got the job, and I stayed in the job for a number of years. Unfortunately, I couldn't sort of fall back in the collection and have a nice read on a quiet Sunday afternoon, or even in the evenings as well. It's a nice taking the models out into the collection and having a nice little sort of sit down and read them. And eventually, oh, there's a slug. Remember this sluggy type effort. chucking things at him and giving him a bit of a hit to dodge him, try and catch him on the side with your arm. It's the fact is, when you're on the side, you can actually get them a little bit better. Only problem is, it takes some time for the weaponry to warm up, so you gotta wait for it to get to the point where it starts highlighting, and then you can whap it, which is a bit of a thing on this one. Because in the old days, some of the games you can simply click, click, click on each character, and if you're ready to hit straight away. But there we are, splashed it. Unfortunately, we got slug food, and I gotta tell you one thing: I hate, loathe, and detest slugs and snails. And how can anybody eat them is beyond me. I just really couldn't tell you. It's absolutely really horrifying. Oh, we're back. So yes, we had to sell the models, and of course I had the job. And I mean, I got a nice enough amount of money out of the models, which I sold on eBay, and all the other camping booklets as well. Now, if you go to eBay, you'll find that the prices they're charging for the old TSR models are, well, too much. It's a bit disgusting that they have to pay that much for some of the models, because people have bought them up. So what you got left are the collectibles, in as much as it doesn't matter what the quality is. They're the only ones available, because other people, other than myself, have bought them. So any chance I've got to sort of remake that collection again is not possible at all. It means that I just have to get PDFs of the I'm going to sleep here just to give myself a chance to heal up. PDFs of the Dungeons & Dragons models, and sort of fall back on them. In a way, I don't mind, because when you play, you can print off a map from the PDF, stick it to your Dungeon Master screen, bring the tablet with you, and use that to run the adventure from, rather than having so many bits and pieces of paperwork, having all the books to hand and so on and so forth. You can simply put the PDF in front of you on the table and just take it from there. I mean, after so many years of playing, you know, you get familiar with the rules, you remember them, so you don't have to consult the book maybe as much as you would have done if you'd been in the beginning. So the PDFs are useful for you to sort of look at the adventure and scroll up and down the screen. That's the only slight drawback with it, is that you've got to scroll up and down the screen. They're throwing things at these slugs at the moment. A little bit better weaponry. I got 2 chances now to hit with the weapons after throwing things. And I must take care of the magic user. Trying to remember that we actually can cast spells. So once I get through this part of the dungeon, I will sort that out. So yes, I've got very little of the old stuff left now, about 10 booklets and models perhaps. 2 of the models I've kept, because well, one of them will be reviewing that in a video in the next day or 2. Minus Tirith, or Minus Tirith, depends on where you are, where you want to pronounce that. But it used to be Minus Tirith, that's lads. And yet in the Tolkien films it's Minas Tirith. I'm waffling. But yes, that was the only thing that of a few bits and pieces we had left of the old Dungeons & Dragons and role-playing stuff. It's not a huge amount. I mean, anybody knows that I've been a pretty poor collector. But compared to the sheer weight of Dungeons & Dragons models and TSR, sorry, Ironcrown Enterprise models I had, it's a pitiful small remnant now. Again with the slug food, not pleasant at all. Right, so we carry on now to where that place was, where the first saw the slug. Let's see what's beyond. And there we are, the door. Just checking. Yep, nothing there, nothing there. Just looking around to see if there's any more secrets, rooms, and just wondering what's around the corner and so on and so forth. Now, sometimes you come to the interesting little spots here and there, and you completely bypass them. You completely forget and think, oh, I needed that weapon, or I needed that particular magical artifact. So you've got to go all the way back to the beginning to this point that you've missed. So sometimes it's worthwhile spending a little bit of time and effort searching the walls around to see if there is anything there, so you don't miss it and you don't go too far. So there's an open thing there, and it's towards the pit, close up in. So there we are. That stone came in handy, and I've got a key. Always throw things around, you know, and that's thing. So you just check rooms again. Oops, a daisy. That's what you get if you pick the stone up and you don't leave the chart intended. So you go back then to where you start. So you have to show you right now. I'm on the other side of the pit, but still I check the stone just in case I might want to go back there again for whatever reason. There's an oak door. When I call it an oak door, it's certainly made of wood. There's nothing else as I've been around there. So I'll carry on then to the rest of it now. And I will rest first, so I want to make sure that I have the hit points back up to the proper time. And what's this? Just checking the corners and see there's no dangerous beastie. And there's a thing saying heal my sight. So you got a sort of statue, very reminiscent of the Tomb of Horrors by Gygax. So you remember that. So let's carry on now and see what we can do. Yeah, so it's very reminiscent of the Tomb of Horrors, where you had this big wide open mouth and many characters lost limbs shoving their hands through to see what was in there. And it turned out to be a severe humiliation. Now I could say, oops, I gave away the major plot thing there, or a major spoiler if you like. So I'm hitting this mushroom type of creature now, and seeing where we go with that. Strange looking thing. A bit better animation than the old dungeon games, because I used to remember playing particularly one Blood Witch with a cousin of mine, and I remember the pixel in Blood Witch. Every time we went down the corridor and saw a particular monster, they couldn't quite control the animation of the thing. It just looked like it was bouncing up and down on the spot. Yeah, we got a little bit better animation, so it looks cool. Another one. So let's get rid of this guy. Catch him on the flank. But I dare say as you get more up in levels, the better it blows. But by the time you come back to this level, for whatever reason, there's nothing there, there's no creature there, unless of course they respawn when you go. Depends. Back where I almost started now, that strange mountain thing, just to beat this guy. He's a bit tough too. You know, there's a few more hit points in this chap than others. Oh yeah, splashed him. And more meat. Okay, how can anybody eat this stuff? I'll never know. But just a bit kept now, just in case we meet some more on the way. And, oh yeah, another guy interrupting my sleep, why don't you? And again, sort of moving away, trying to hit him without being hit. And waiting for the thing to warm up, which it does. Bam, bam. And just sort of, yeah, the animation was a lot better I feeling it. And even though it's a weird looking thing, it certainly moves better. As I said, with the old games, you had the pixel bouncing up and down in the spot, and every now and again then do a sudden jump from one motion to another, because what they did, they actually back in the day had pictures, if you like, of the creature in various colors, and what they did then to animate it, they switch from one picture to another, and it's not the kind of smooth movement you see where there's actually a bit of animation going on. I am just wondering what program they used to animate it. 3D Studio Max, Lightwave, no, another one. Don't you just hate these guys bouncing around and getting on your nerves? So yeah, it's possible they do a 3D Studio Max, because that's sort of the go-to for games in terms of creating them. I mean, I did have Video Studio Max years ago. I was free to admit it was a pirate copy of it because the actual game itself is so expensive to buy. But I sort of stopped doing after a time because we had so much going on in my life and I couldn't spend the time necessary to learn the program. And believe me, it's a very high and steep learning curve with those things, but I dare say that once you've learned it thoroughly, alright, back to steep now. Once you learn it thoroughly, the rewards are there. When you put in the effort to get a lot out of the program. Certainly I enjoyed the stuff that I'd done when I played it, but like I said, it does take a lot of time and effort to learn, and more time than you can possibly go for it, unless you're an absolute student where it's natural you learn the program. So I'm going to take a sip of my coffee, which is nice. Right, so yes, I wanted to use Video Studio Max entirely for this particular dungeon setup. Certainly there are a few bits of programming needed to get this up and running. Purely simply by, when you press a button, something happens somewhere else. Oh, there's one of the eyes. I'm assuming that that statue type effort needs. And a secret door, nothing happens. So I'm just checking around to see if anything did happen. So maybe it happened somewhere else. And of course there is. Just found a secret room, I think. And so we got looks like a dagger and whatever it is, plants on the floor. It's a cudgel. Who should I give that to? I'll just chuck it in there. And there's something else there. That's cave nettle. Probably to make potions with, I don't know. Right, there's nothing else there, so let's carry on. See what's down the other side of that room there. It's a mushroom. Yay. Go me, I pick up mushrooms. I remember in the old days when I was a kid, there was a field not far from where I live, still there actually, where they used to have magic mushrooms in there. And of course, a few of the lads knew about it, the trapdoor, but the slugs, yeah. I'm just thinking now, perhaps we'll get the slugs and I can lure them into the trapdoor. It's alright, they don't kill them now, because by the time I meet them, probably in the next level down, I would be a high enough level to give them the smackdown. We'll probably pick up better weapons down there than anywhere else on this level anyway. So let's get into the trapdoor. Where is the city beggar? Now there we are. So let's get into it and off we go. Hey, bye bye. See you later. Right, so is there any more slugs around here? Bound to be, knowing that no, okay. So it's scroll the fireburst. So to get these guys to learn how to do these magic cloak. And what else we got there? A loincloth. Hide the bollocks. Right, so let's check the room. Oh, my torch is going out. See that there because it starts going dark. You forget about a little sort of care and maintenance like that, don't you? So I'll have to go back now and find a torch. But in the meantime, let's quickly sort of have a look around here, see what I can find. And there's a torch there. Right. Let's sort this snaggy buggy. Oh, there's two of them. Right, come on then, chap. Down you come. And up too soon. It's the timing of that. Off you go. See you. Right, so we got another slug. This time, oh, we got another one behind him. How many slugs are there in this world? That's what I want to know. Right, down you go. Let's get the other one sorted out. Come on, old chap. Come to Papa. No, no, I'm not there. I'm over here. Come on. Give a much needed torch. And I just suddenly realised that I stepped on the plate there, and I can't go backwards. So I'm going to stand toe to toe with this chap now. At least I got a bit more battery to. Here we are. I sorted him out. And of course, the snug meat. Ugh. I really can't sorry, snug meat, snail meat. Oh, there's the eye. Get that there, and then we go back to the dungeon thing. So that opens somewhere else, I'm imagining. And as of course it just double check. Okay. So I figured that after a fashion. Sometimes some puzzles don't make any sense, you just go along with the ride. Right, so get that now, we open the door, and there's a guy there. A guy with a spear. Look very much like those guards of Imhotep in the Mummy film. You know, when the fighter, hero, runs away from them and tries to fight them off. He's very much like that. I wonder if he got any inspiration from that film. Again with the flanking hits. He moved like a bit like a moron, didn't he? But yeah, the shields are helping him a bit. Sounds like a tough to beat this guy. Oh, nice there. Not exactly a heavy tactical scenario here, just move around, dodge, and you sort of the undead chap. There's a thing about these dungeons, crawling adventures I used to play back in the day, and this one is the same, is what do the monsters have to live on? You know, you go to a room and there's a monster hopping about in there. And we think, where's the food? And he's locked in that room. You know, what does he have to eat and what does he have to drink? With the undead, you don't ask maybe so many questions because undead don't eat, they don't drink. They're just there, you know, animated and moving around for whatever forces impel them. It's a bit of a tough guy. But yeah, that was one of the issues I always used to have in Dungeons and Dragons when I played the role-playing game. Here we are. Sorted him out now. I got a shield. And it's spear. So I'll give that to the other guy. Right. So yes, the ecology of the creatures in the various dungeons or even in the adventures. You wonder how they managed to survive in some of the environments that you set the playing characters through. Let's pick up those eyes. I'm going to keep them. Give it that guy there. And sort everything out later on. Right. I've got a feeling it's coming towards the end of the first level. But have a sleep first. So when I used to find... oh, what's here? What's going on? Okay. We've got keys and codes around the place. Doctor Who? Title sequence, perhaps? We've gone into a different game altogether. It's interesting. It's sort of there, I suppose. Anything happening apart from cogs going around? Oh, right. What is happening? Collective dream. Okay, so you're picking up visions whenever you rest. And whatever's in the dungeon, sending some sort of message to the player party, or myself as a player. Carry on the rest of the game now, just checking the walls, as I always do. I think there may be one more secret perhaps, or maybe there won't be any. So I'm looking around to see what's going on. A brass door. Oh, there's one over here. Ticked. And it opens something somewhere else. So you got a scroll. And what else have we got here? Oh yeah. I think that's one of these resurrection places. When you die, you get resurrected and you're brought back to this particular spot. I think. I remember reading something about it. And there's the dungeon, second level. So as I said, now we'll come near to the end of this video. So just going to check another opening perhaps. There we are. Okay. So yeah, so once I pick up this stuff, then I get ready to go down into the next dungeon. So I want to thank you for listening and watching this video. I've enjoyed this first level so far. I hope you have too. So I'll catch you guys the next time. So take care. Rock on.